Imagine waking up tomorrow with unshakable inner strength. Picture yourself facing life's toughest challenges with a calm mind and unwavering resolve. What if I told you that the next hour could transform the way you handle everything life throws at you? Welcome, inspired Stoics. This isn't just another philosophy video. This is your gateway to mastering life itself. You can watch this video on a long walk in your car or when running. In the next few seconds, we're going to dive into 5 game-changing Stoic practices that have the power to revolutionize your life. We're talking about forging ironclad self-discipline, turning adversity into your greatest ally, harnessing the hidden power of mindfulness, unlocking the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, and building emotional resilience that would make a mountain look fragile. This isn't about abstract ideas. This is about real, actionable wisdom that you can start applying the moment this video ends. Whether you're struggling with stress, searching for purpose, or just looking to level up your life, these Stoic principles are your secret weapon. So, are you ready to upgrade your mind? Are you prepared to see the world through the eyes of history's greatest thinkers and apply their wisdom to your 21st century life? Buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey that could change everything. This is Stoicism like you've never seen it before. Let's dive in.
Topic 1. Self-discipline. In a world of instant gratification and constant distractions, mastering self-discipline is more crucial than ever. But what exactly is self-discipline from a Stoic perspective, and how can we cultivate it to achieve inner peace and personal growth? As we explore this powerful concept, we'll uncover its roots in ancient Stoic teachings and discover how it can transform our modern lives. From the writings of Epictetus and Seneca to the meditations of Marcus Aurelius, we'll draw upon the wisdom of the great Stoic thinkers to guide us on our journey towards greater self-mastery. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower or resisting temptations. It's a fundamental aspect of living a virtuous life, aligning our actions with our values, and finding true freedom in a world full of chaos. So let's embark on this exploration together and unlock the transformative power of Stoic self-discipline. 1. The essence of Stoic self-discipline. Self-discipline in the Stoic tradition is far more than just the ability to resist temptation or stick to a routine. It's a profound philosophical concept that lies at the heart of living a virtuous and fulfilling life. For Stoics, self-discipline is the art of aligning our will with reason and nature, enabling us to live in harmony with the universe and our highest ideals. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, emphasized this when he said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery begins with recognizing that while we can't control external events, we have complete control over our responses to them. It's about cultivating the inner strength to choose rational, virtuous responses over impulsive reactions. Consider for a moment the last time you faced a challenging situation. Perhaps it was a conflict at work, a personal setback, or a moment of intense temptation. How did you respond? Did you react impulsively, driven by emotion, or were you able to pause, reflect, and choose a response aligned with your values? This ability to pause and choose is the essence of Stoic self-discipline. But why is this so important? In the Stoic view, our ability to exercise self-discipline is directly linked to our freedom and happiness. When we lack self-discipline, we become slaves to our impulses, external circumstances, and the opinions of others. We react rather than act. We follow rather than lead. And we live at the mercy of fortune rather than by the strength of our character. On the other hand, when we cultivate self-discipline, we gain the power to shape our lives according to our values and principles. We become proactive rather than reactive, choosing our path instead of simply responding to circumstances. This is what true freedom means to a Stoic: the ability to live according to one's highest ideals, regardless of external conditions. 2. Delayed gratification, the cornerstone of Stoic practice. In practice, Stoic self-discipline often manifests as delayed gratification, the ability to forego immediate pleasure for long-term benefit. This concept is not unique to Stoicism, but the Stoics elevated it to an art form, recognizing it as a crucial tool for personal growth and virtue. Imagine you're faced with a choice. You can either watch your favorite TV show now or spend that time working on an important project. The TV show offers immediate pleasure while the project requires effort but will bring greater satisfaction and benefits in the long run. Choosing the project over the TV show is an exercise in delayed gratification and Stoic self-discipline, but it goes beyond just personal habits. Stoic self-discipline extends to emotional regulation, decision-making, and even our interactions with others. For instance, when faced with a challenging colleague, self-discipline allows us to respond with patience and understanding rather than anger or frustration. It's about consistently choosing the higher path, even when it's difficult. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about the importance of delayed gratification. He argued that true happiness comes not from indulging our every desire, but from mastering them. He said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." In our modern context, this could apply to our constant connectivity and the temptation to always be checking our phones or social media. By practicing delayed gratification, we learn to be present in the moment and focus on what truly matters. Moreover, the practice of delayed gratification builds resilience and strengthens our character. Each time we choose the harder but more rewarding path, we're reinforcing our ability to do so in the future. It's like building a muscle. The more we exercise our self-discipline, the stronger it becomes. 3. Voluntary discomfort, building mental toughness. One of the most powerful tools for developing self-discipline is the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort. This involves intentionally putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations to build resilience and self-control. It might seem counterintuitive. Why would we choose to be uncomfortable? But the Stoics recognized that this practice had profound benefits for personal growth and inner strength. Seneca, who we mentioned earlier, practiced this regularly. He would dress in simple clothes, eat plain food, and sometimes even sleep on the floor. The goal wasn't self-punishment, but rather to remind himself that he could endure discomfort and didn't need to fear it. By voluntarily experiencing discomfort, Seneca was preparing himself to face any hardship that life might throw his way. We can apply this principle in our modern lives in various ways. Taking cold showers, fasting for a day, or deliberately avoiding our favorite entertainments for a set period are all examples of voluntary discomfort. These practices strengthen our will and remind us that we're capable of more than we often believe. For example, imagine deciding to take a cold shower every morning for a week. The first day might be shocking and unpleasant, but as you continue the practice, you'll likely find that you become more resilient. You might even start to appreciate the invigorating effect of the cold water. More importantly, you'll have proven to yourself that you can do hard things, that you can endure discomfort when you choose to. This mental toughness translates into other areas of life. When you're faced with a difficult task at work or a challenging personal situation, you can draw on the strength you've built through voluntary discomfort. You know that you can handle discomfort, that you're stronger than you thought. Moreover, voluntary discomfort helps us appreciate what we have. After sleeping on a hard floor, your bed feels more comfortable. After fasting, you appreciate your food more. This gratitude is another key aspect of Stoic philosophy, and it's closely tied to self-discipline. 4. The virtuous path. Self-discipline and character. Self-discipline in Stoicism is closely tied to the concept of virtue. The Stoics believed that living virtuously with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control was the key to a good life. Self-discipline is what allows us to consistently choose virtue over vice, even when it's challenging. Consider the virtue of honesty. It's easy to be honest when telling the truth is convenient or beneficial. But what about when telling the truth might cost us something? A job, a relationship, or even just someone's good opinion of us? This is where self-discipline comes in. It takes self-discipline to speak the truth when a lie might be more convenient, or to stand up for what's right when it's easier to stay silent. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote extensively about the importance of staying true to one's principles. In his Meditations, he constantly reminded himself to act with integrity, regardless of how others behaved. This requires tremendous self-discipline, especially for someone in a position of power where the temptation to compromise one's values can be strong. By practicing self-discipline, we're not just improving our personal habits. We're cultivating our character and moving closer to the Stoic ideal of the wise person. Every time we choose the virtuous path over the easy one, we're strengthening our character and becoming more aligned with our highest values. This doesn't mean that Stoic self-discipline is about being perfect or never making mistakes. The Stoics recognize that we're all human and will sometimes fall short. The key is to use these moments as opportunities for learning and growth, to pick ourselves up and recommit to our principles. For example, if you lose your temper and say something unkind, a Stoic approach would be to acknowledge the mistake, apologize sincerely, and then reflect on what triggered the outburst and how you can respond better in the future. This process of continuous self-reflection and improvement is at the heart of Stoic self-discipline. 5. Finding balance. The Stoic approach to self-discipline. It's important to note that Stoic self-discipline isn't about rigid control or suppression of natural impulses. Instead, it's about finding balance and harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. The Stoics recognize that we are part of nature and that fighting against our natural inclinations entirely is neither possible nor desirable. Marcus Aurelius captured this idea beautifully when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength comes from the ability to direct our thoughts and actions purposefully, rather than being at the mercy of every passing whim or external stimulus. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, choosing our path instead of simply responding to circumstances. Consider the Stoic approach to emotions. Unlike some philosophical traditions that advocate suppressing emotions entirely, Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge our feelings while not being ruled by them. It's about finding the middle ground between being overwhelmed by our emotions and being completely detached from them. For example, if you receive criticism at work, a Stoic approach wouldn't be to pretend you don't feel hurt or angry. Instead, it would involve acknowledging those feelings, examining them rationally, and then choosing how to respond. You might ask yourself, is there truth in this criticism? How can I use this feedback to improve? What's the most constructive way to respond? This balanced approach to self-discipline extends to all areas of life. It's not about denying yourself all pleasures or pushing yourself to the point of burnout. Instead, it's about making conscious choices that align with your values and long-term goals. It's about enjoying life's pleasures in moderation, working hard but also resting when needed, and striving for improvement while also accepting your limitations. Epictetus summed up this balanced approach when he said, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." This doesn't mean passively accepting everything that happens, but rather focusing our energy on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses, while accepting with equanimity those things we cannot change. To recap, and as we've seen, Self-discipline is a fundamental aspect of Stoic philosophy and practice. It's the bridge between our intentions and our actions, the force that allows us to live according to our highest values. By cultivating self-discipline, we gain greater control over our lives, build resilience in the face of challenges, and move closer to achieving inner peace and personal growth. We've explored how Stoic self-discipline manifests in delayed gratification, helping us make choices that benefit us in the long term. We've discovered the power of voluntary discomfort in building mental toughness and appreciation for what we have. We've seen how self-discipline is crucial in cultivating virtue and strengthening our character. And we've learned about the importance of balance in the Stoic approach to self-discipline. These principles, while rooted in ancient philosophy, are incredibly relevant to our modern lives. In a world full of distractions and instant gratification, the ability to exercise self-discipline is more valuable than ever. It's what allows us to stay focused on our goals, to build meaningful relationships, to contribute positively to our communities, and to find genuine fulfillment in life. Conclusion: remember, developing self-discipline is a journey, not a destination. It requires consistent practice and patience. Start small, perhaps with a daily meditation practice or by intentionally delaying a small pleasure. Gradually increase the challenges you set for yourself. With time and practice, you'll find that self-discipline becomes not just a habit, but a way of life, one that brings clarity, purpose, and tranquility to your days. As you continue on your Stoic path, let self-discipline be your constant companion, guiding you towards a life of virtue and inner strength. Embrace the challenges as opportunities for growth, celebrate your progress, and be kind to yourself when you fall short. Remember the words of Epictetus: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. In cultivating self-discipline, you're not just improving yourself, you're contributing to a better world. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is good for the hive is good for the bee." By mastering yourself, you become better equipped to serve others and to face life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Topic 2: Dealing with adversity. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and unexpected difficulties. But what if I told you that these obstacles aren't just hurdles to overcome, but opportunities for growth and self-improvement? This isn't just positive thinking. It's a fundamental principle of Stoicism that has helped countless individuals navigate life's toughest moments with grace and resilience. In this video, we'll explore how the ancient Stoics viewed adversity, why they saw it as a training ground for virtue, and most importantly, how we can apply these timeless principles to our modern lives. Whether you're facing personal setbacks, professional challenges, or global crises, the Stoic approach to adversity can be a powerful tool in your mental arsenal. So, let's dive in and discover how we can transform our relationship with life's difficulties using adversity, not just to survive, but to thrive. 1. The Stoic perspective on adversity. At the core of the Stoic approach to adversity is a radical shift in perspective. Where many see misfortune, the Stoic sees opportunity. This isn't about sugarcoating difficulties or denying their impact. Rather, it's about recognizing that how we respond to adversity is far more important than the adversity itself. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the Stoic view on adversity. It reminds us that while we can't always control external events, we have complete control over our reactions to them. Consider a common modern adversity: losing a job. For many, this would be seen as a purely negative event, filled with stress and uncertainty. But through a Stoic lens, we might ask, what opportunities does this present? Perhaps it's a chance to pursue a long-held dream, to develop new skills, or to reassess our career path. The situation hasn't changed, but our perspective on it has. This shift in perspective isn't always easy, especially in the heat of the moment. It requires practice and conscious effort. One practical way to cultivate this mindset is through regular reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to think about the challenges you faced. For each one, ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How did this make me stronger? What opportunities did this create? By consistently practicing this kind of reflection, we train our minds to automatically seek the potential benefits in adversity. Over time, this can dramatically change how we experience and respond to life's challenges. 2. Adversity is a training ground for virtue. The Stoics didn't just see adversity as something to be endured. They saw it as essential for personal growth and the development of virtue. In fact, they believed that without adversity, we cannot truly develop strength of character. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This paradoxical statement suggests that the very obstacles we face are the means by which we grow and progress. Think of it like strength training. When we lift weights, we're intentionally creating resistance for our muscles. It's through overcoming this resistance that our muscles grow stronger. In the same way, life's adversities provide resistance for our character, and it's by overcoming these challenges that we develop mental and emotional strength. For example, dealing with a difficult colleague at work isn't just an annoyance to be tolerated. From a Stoic perspective, it's an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and effective communication. Facing financial difficulties isn't just a source of stress, it's a chance to cultivate resourcefulness, discipline, and resilience. To put this into practice, try reframing your current challenges. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What virtue can I practice through this situation?" If you're dealing with a health issue, perhaps it's an opportunity to practice acceptance and perseverance. If you're navigating a complex project at work, maybe it's a chance to develop leadership skills and strategic thinking. By viewing adversity as a training ground, we transform our relationship with difficulties. They become not just problems to solve, but opportunities for personal growth and the cultivation of virtue.
3. The dichotomy of control, focusing on what we can change. A crucial aspect of dealing with adversity stoically is understanding and applying the concept of the dichotomy of control. This principle, articulated by Epictetus, states that some things are within our control while others are not. Our opinions, aspirations, desires, and aversions, in short, our own thoughts and actions, are within our control. Everything else, other people's opinions, health, wealth, and external events, is not. This distinction is vital when facing adversity because it helps us focus our energy and attention where it can have the most impact. Instead of wasting time and emotional energy on things we can't change, we direct our efforts towards what we can influence, primarily our own responses and actions. Let's apply this to a real-world scenario. Imagine you're stuck in heavy traffic and running late for an important meeting. The traffic itself is outside your control. Getting upset about it won't make the cars move faster. But how you respond to the situation is entirely within your control. You could choose to fume and stress, or you could use the time productively. Perhaps to mentally prepare for the meeting, listen to an educational podcast, or practice some deep breathing exercises. To incorporate this principle into your daily life, try this exercise. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to mentally categorize aspects of the situation into things I can control and things I can't control. Then, consciously let go of the things you can't control and focus your energy on what you can influence. This doesn't mean we become passive in the face of adversity. Rather, it means we become strategic, focusing our efforts where they can have the most impact.
By doing this, we not only reduce unnecessary stress and frustration, but also become more effective in dealing with the challenges we face. 4. Negative visualization, preparing for adversity. One of the most powerful Stoic techniques for dealing with adversity is the practice of negative visualization, or what the Stoics called premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. This involves deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios and potential hardships. At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. Why would we want to think about bad things happening? The answer lies in the benefits this practice provides. By regularly contemplating potential adversities, we achieve several important things. 1. We reduce anxiety about future events by mentally preparing for them. 2. We appreciate our current circumstances more deeply. 3. We're better prepared to handle real adversities when they arise. For example, imagine spending a few minutes each day visualizing losing your job. You might consider how you would handle the financial impact, how you would search for new opportunities, and how you would explain the situation to your family. By doing this regularly, you accomplish several things. You reduce the fear of job loss by facing it in your mind. You appreciate your current job more, and you're better prepared with a mental action plan if you do lose your job. To practice negative visualization, set aside a few minutes each day to imagine potential adversities. This could be anything from minor inconveniences to major life changes. As you imagine these scenarios, ask yourself, how would I cope with this? What resources, internal and external, could I draw upon? What opportunities might arise from this situation? It's important to note that the goal here isn't to induce anxiety or pessimism. Rather, it's to cultivate a sense of preparedness and resilience. By regularly facing our fears in our minds, we reduce their power over us and increase our ability to handle real challenges when they arise. 5. Finding the opportunity in crisis. The Chinese word for crisis is often said to be composed of two characters, one representing danger and the other opportunity. While this interpretation isn't linguistically accurate, it does capture a profound truth that aligns closely with Stoic philosophy. Every crisis contains within it the seeds of opportunity. This idea is eloquently expressed by the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who said, "I judge you unfortunate because you have never lived through misfortune. You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you are capable of, not even you." Seneca is suggesting that it's through facing and overcoming adversity that we discover our true capabilities. In practice, finding opportunity in crisis involves a deliberate shift in mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this situation to grow or to help others?"
For instance, consider the global COVID-19 pandemic. While undoubtedly a crisis of immense proportions, it also spurred incredible scientific collaboration, accelerated the adoption of remote work technologies, and for many, provided an opportunity to reassess priorities and lifestyle choices. On a personal level, a health crisis might lead to a renewed commitment to wellness and a deeper appreciation for life. A financial setback might spark entrepreneurial creativity or lead to the discovery of more meaningful ways to measure success and happiness. To apply this principle in your own life, try this exercise. Think of a significant challenge you're currently facing. Now list 5 potential positive outcomes or opportunities that could arise from this situation. They don't have to be equal in magnitude to the challenge. Even small positives count. The goal is to train your mind to automatically seek the potential for growth and opportunity in every adversity you face. Remember, this doesn't mean denying the reality of difficult situations or suppressing negative emotions. It's about acknowledging the challenge while also remaining open to the possibilities it might create. To recap, as we've explored, the Stoic approach to adversity is not about minimizing or avoiding life's challenges. Instead,
It's about facing them head-on with a mindset that transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. We've learned to shift our perspective on adversity, to see it as a training ground for virtue, to focus on what we can control, to prepare ourselves through negative visualization, and to seek opportunities even in the midst of crisis. These are not just philosophical concepts, but practical tools that we can apply in our daily lives. By incorporating these Stoic principles, we can develop greater resilience, find meaning in our struggles, and ultimately lead more fulfilling lives. Conclusion: remember, dealing with adversity stoically is not about being unemotional or suppressing our natural reactions to difficulties. It's about developing a more constructive and empowering relationship with life's challenges. It's about recognizing that while we can't always choose our circumstances, we can always choose our response to them. As you go forward from this video, I encourage you to start small. The next time you face a minor setback or inconvenience, pause and ask yourself, how would a Stoic approach this? What virtue can I practice here? What's within my control in this situation? By consistently applying these principles to small challenges, you'll be better prepared to face larger adversities when they arise. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to adversity is about more than just coping or surviving. It's about thriving. It's about using life's challenges as a catalyst for personal growth and a deeper, more meaningful engagement with the world around us. Topic 3: Mindfulness in Stoicism. While mindfulness is often associated with Buddhist traditions, it's a powerful tool that aligns beautifully with Stoic philosophy and can significantly enhance our practice of Stoic principles. Mindfulness, at its core, is about being fully present in the moment, aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. This state of conscious awareness is not only compatible with Stoic teachings but can be seen as a fundamental aspect of living a virtuous and rational life, as the Stoics advocated. In this video, we'll delve into how mindfulness intersects with Stoic philosophy, why it's crucial for applying Stoic principles effectively, and most importantly, how we can integrate mindfulness practices into our daily lives to become more present, clear-minded, and resilient Stoic practitioners. So let's embark on this journey of discovering how mindfulness can enhance our Stoic practice and lead us to a life of greater wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. 1. The Stoic roots of mindfulness. While the term mindfulness might not appear in ancient Stoic texts, the concept is deeply embedded in Stoic practices and philosophy. The Stoics emphasize the importance of paying attention to our thoughts, judgments, and actions, a form of mindfulness that they saw as crucial for living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminds himself to stay present and attentive. He writes, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice." This instruction is essentially a call for mindful presence in every action. Similarly, Epictetus advised his students to maintain constant vigilance over their thoughts and impressions. He said, "From the very beginning, train yourself to say to every harsh appearance, 'You are an appearance, and not at all the thing you appear to be.'" This practice of observing our thoughts without immediately identifying with them is a cornerstone of both Stoic philosophy and modern mindfulness techniques. The Stoic practice of prosauche, or attention, is particularly relevant here. This was a state of continuous, vigilant attention to oneself and one's surroundings. It involved constantly asking oneself, "What am I doing right now? What is the nature of my current thoughts and actions? Are they in alignment with virtue and reason?" To practice this Stoic form of mindfulness, try setting regular reminders throughout your day to pause and check in with yourself. Ask, "What am I thinking right now? What emotions am I experiencing? Are my current thoughts and actions aligned with my values? Am I fully present in this moment? By cultivating this habit of self-awareness, we begin to embody the Stoic ideal of living with intention and in accordance with reason and virtue. 2. Mindfulness as a tool for practicing Stoic principles. Mindfulness serves as a powerful tool for putting Stoic principles into practice. It helps us create the mental space necessary to apply Stoic teachings in our daily lives, rather than just understanding them intellectually. One of the core Stoic principles is the dichotomy of control, the idea that some things are within our control, our thoughts, judgments, and actions, while others are not, external events and circumstances. Mindfulness helps us become more aware of this distinction in real time. By practicing mindful awareness, we can more easily recognize when we're expending energy worrying about things outside our control and redirect our focus to what we can influence. For example, imagine you're stuck in traffic and feeling frustrated. A mindful approach would involve noticing these feelings of frustration arising. Then, drawing on Stoic wisdom, you might remind yourself that the traffic is outside your control, but your response to it is within your control. This mindful awareness creates a pause between stimulus and response, allowing you to choose a more constructive reaction. Another key Stoic principle is living in accordance with nature, which includes accepting reality as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. Mindfulness practice helps us develop this acceptance by training us to observe our present experience without immediately trying to change or judge it. To integrate this into your Stoic practice, try this exercise. Spend 5 to 10 minutes each day in a mindful acceptance meditation. Sit quietly and observe your thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise. Notice any urges to change or judge your experience, but instead of acting on these urges, simply acknowledge them and return your attention to observing. This practice can help cultivate the Stoic virtue of acceptance and equanimity in the face of life's challenges. 3. Mindfulness and Stoic emotional regulation. Both Stoicism and mindfulness offer powerful techniques for managing our emotions. The Stoics believe that our emotions are a result of our judgments about events, not the events themselves. Similarly, mindfulness teaches us to observe our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Seneca, in his letters, often advised taking a step back from our immediate emotional reactions to examine them more objectively. He wrote, "We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." This aligns closely with the mindfulness practice of observing our thoughts and emotions with a sense of detachment. By combining Stoic principles with mindfulness techniques, we can develop a more balanced emotional life. Here's a practice to try. The next time you experience a strong emotion, especially a negative one, pause and try this. 1. Name the emotion. I am feeling angry, sad, anxious. 2. Locate where you feel it in your body. 3. Observe it with curiosity, as if you're a scientist studying a new phenomenon. 4. Remind yourself of the Stoic principle that this emotion is a result of your judgment, not an inherent quality of the situation. 5. Ask yourself, is this judgment helping me? Is there a more constructive way to view this situation? This practice combines mindful awareness with Stoic analysis, helping you respond to emotional situations with greater wisdom and equanimity. 4. Mindfulness and the Stoic examination of thoughts. The Stoics placed great emphasis on examining our thoughts and beliefs, recognizing that our perceptions shape our reality. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Mindfulness provides a practical method for developing this power over our minds. Through mindfulness practice, we learn to observe our thoughts without automatically believing or acting on them. This creates a space between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose our reactions more wisely. It's in this space that we can apply Stoic principles and make decisions aligned with virtue and reason. A powerful technique that combines Stoic thought examination with mindfulness is the practice of cognitive distancing. Here's how to do it. 1. When you notice a troubling thought, pause and take a deep breath. 2. Label the thought. I'm having the thought that... 3. Imagine the thought written on a leaf floating down a stream or on a cloud passing across the sky. 4. Ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it based on fact or assumption? What would a wise Stoic do with this thought? This practice helps us see our thoughts as mental events rather than absolute truths, giving us the freedom to choose which thoughts to engage with and which to let pass. 5. Mindfulness and daily Stoic practice. Incorporating mindfulness into our daily Stoic practice can significantly enhance our ability to live according to Stoic principles. Here are some practical ways to do this. Morning reflection. Start your day with a mindful Stoic meditation. Spend a few minutes in quiet reflection, setting your intentions for the day. Consider the potential challenges you might face and how you want to respond to them with wisdom and virtue. Mindful actions. Throughout the day, try to bring full attention to your actions, even the mundane ones. Whether you're eating, walking, or working, practice being fully present. This aligns with the Stoic emphasis on living with intention and doing each task to the best of your ability. Evening review. End your day with a mindful review of your thoughts and actions. Reflect on moments when you lived up to your Stoic ideals and times when you fell short. Do this with a spirit of curiosity and learning, not judgment. Mindful speech. Before speaking, especially in challenging situations, pause and take a breath. Consider whether your words will be true, necessary, and kind. This practice embodies the Stoic virtues of wisdom and justice. Gratitude practice. Regularly pause to notice and appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. This aligns with the Stoic practice of negative visualization by contrast, helping you value what you have. By integrating these mindfulness practices into your daily routine, you create numerous opportunities to embody Stoic principles in your everyday life. To recap, as we've explored, mindfulness and Stoicism are natural allies in the pursuit of a wise, virtuous, and tranquil life. Mindfulness enhances our ability to apply Stoic principles by increasing our self-awareness, improving our emotional regulation, and helping us examine our thoughts more objectively. It provides practical tools for living in the present moment, accepting reality as it is and making conscious choices aligned with our values. By combining the philosophical framework of Stoicism with the practical techniques of mindfulness, we can develop a powerful approach to navigating life's challenges with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Conclusion. Remember, the goal of integrating mindfulness into our Stoic practice isn't to achieve a state of perpetual calm or to eliminate all negative thoughts and emotions. Rather, it's to develop a greater awareness of our inner world and a more intentional way of engaging with our external circumstances. Choose one or two of the mindfulness practices we've discussed and commit to incorporating them into your daily routine. Perhaps start with the morning reflection or the mindful acceptance meditation. Be patient with yourself as you develop these new habits, remembering that, like any skill, mindfulness improves with consistent practice. Over time, you may find that this combination of Stoic philosophy and mindful awareness brings a new depth to your understanding and application of Stoic principles. You might notice increased clarity in your thinking, greater equanimity in the face of challenges, and a stronger sense of living in alignment with your values.
Topic 4. As Roman Emperor from 161 to 180 AD, Marcus Aurelius faced immense challenges, from leading armies to governing an empire. Yet amidst these pressures, he found time to write his personal reflections, which have come down to us as the Meditations, a timeless guide to living a virtuous and meaningful life. What makes Marcus Aurelius' teaching so powerful is their practicality and universal applicability. Whether you're a CEO, a student, or anyone in between, his insights offer guidance for navigating life's complexities with wisdom, courage, and integrity. In this video, we'll explore key lessons from Marcus Aurelius, examining how his ancient wisdom can be applied to our modern lives. We'll delve into his thoughts on resilience, perspective, self-discipline, and more. Most importantly, we'll discuss how to integrate these lessons into our daily routines, helping us become more thoughtful, resilient, and virtuous individuals. So let's embark on this journey through the mind of a philosopher king and discover how the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius can transform our lives today. 1. The power of perspective. One of Marcus Aurelius's most profound teachings is about the power of perspective. He consistently reminds us that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. In Book 4 of Meditations, he writes, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This principle is revolutionary in its simplicity and power. It suggests that we have far more control over our experience of life than we often realize. By changing our perspective, we can fundamentally alter our emotional response to events. Consider a modern example. You're stuck in heavy traffic and running late for an important meeting. The situation itself is neutral, it's just cars on a road, but your judgment about it, that it's terrible, unfair, or going to ruin your day, is what causes your distress. Marcus Aurelius would advise us to step back and examine these judgments. Instead of fuming about the traffic, we could choose to see it differently. Perhaps it's an opportunity to practice patience, or to listen to an educational podcast, or simply to take a few deep breaths and center ourselves before the meeting. By shifting our perspective, we transform a potentially stressful situation into a neutral or even beneficial one. To practice this in daily life, try this exercise. Each time you feel upset or frustrated, pause and ask yourself, 1. What judgment am I making about this situation? 2. Is this judgment absolutely true, or just one possible interpretation? 3. How else could I view this situation in a way that's more constructive or aligned with my values? By regularly practicing this shift in perspective, we can dramatically reduce our stress and increase our resilience in the face of life's challenges. 2. The impermanence of all things. Another key lesson from Marcus Aurelius is the recognition of the impermanence of all things. He frequently reminds himself and us that everything in life is transient. In Book 4, he writes, "Bear in mind that everything that exists is already fraying at the edges and in transition, subject to fragmentation and to rot." While this might sound pessimistic at first, it's actually a powerful tool for both appreciation and detachment. By recognizing that nothing lasts forever, neither our joys nor our sorrows, we can learn to appreciate the present moment more fully and to let go of our attachments more easily. In our modern context, this principle can be incredibly liberating. Think about how much anxiety we often feel about maintaining our possessions, our status, or even our relationships. By remembering their impermanent nature, we can loosen our grip and find more peace. For example, if you're worried about a scratch on your new car, remembering its impermanence can help put things in perspective. The car, like everything else, will eventually decay. This doesn't mean we shouldn't take care of our possessions, but it does mean we shouldn't let them cause us undue stress. Similarly, this principle can help us appreciate the good things in life more fully. Knowing that a beautiful moment or a loving relationship won't last forever can motivate us to cherish it more deeply in the present. To practice this, try a daily meditation on impermanence. 1. Choose an object, relationship, or aspect of your life. 2. Reflect on its current state and how it has changed over time. 3. Imagine how it might change in the future. 4. Consider how this awareness of impermanence affects your appreciation for it now This practice can help us develop a more balanced and appreciative approach to life, reducing our anxiety about change and loss. 3. The importance of self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius placed great emphasis on self-discipline as a key to living a virtuous life. He saw it as essential for maintaining control over our thoughts, actions, and desires. In Book 5, he writes, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm?" This call to self-discipline is as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. In our world of constant distractions and instant gratification, the ability to focus, to delay pleasure, and to do what's right rather than what's easy is more valuable than ever. Self-discipline, in the Stoic sense, isn't about harsh self-denial. It's about aligning our actions with our values and long-term goals. It's about doing what we know is right, even when it's difficult. For instance, self-discipline might mean sticking to an exercise routine even when we don't feel like it, continuing to work on a challenging project when we'd rather scroll through social media, speaking up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. To cultivate greater self-discipline, try this practice. 1. Each morning, set 3 important tasks for the day that align with your values and long-term goals. 2. When you face resistance to doing these tasks, pause and remind yourself of why they're important. 3. After completing each task, take a moment to appreciate the sense of accomplishment and how it aligns with your ideal self. By consistently practicing self-discipline in small ways, we build the strength to tackle bigger challenges and live more in alignment with our values. 4. The interconnectedness of all things. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. In Book 4, he writes, "All things are implicated with one another, and the bond is holy, and there is hardly anything unconnected with any other thing." This principle encourages us to see ourselves as part of a larger whole, rather than as isolated individuals. In our modern world, this understanding of interconnectedness is more relevant than ever. From global economic systems to ecological networks, we're increasingly aware of how our actions affect others and how we're affected by the world around us. Recognizing our interconnectedness can lead to greater empathy and compassion for others, a sense of responsibility for our actions and their wider impacts, a deeper appreciation for the support systems that sustain us. For example, when we buy a product, we might consider the entire supply chain involved in its creation and distribution. This awareness can lead to more mindful consumption and a greater appreciation for the work of others. To practice this principle, try this exercise. 1. Choose an everyday object or experience, like a meal or your smartphone. 2. Reflect on all the people and processes involved in bringing it to you. 3. Consider how your use of it might affect others or the environment. 4. Express gratitude for this web of connections that supports your life. By regularly practicing this kind of reflection, we can develop a more holistic worldview and a greater sense of connection to the world around us. 5. The pursuit of virtue as life's purpose. Finally, Marcus Aurelius consistently emphasizes that the pursuit of virtue should be our primary goal in life. He believed that by focusing on developing wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control, the 4 cardinal virtues in Stoicism, we could live a fulfilling life regardless of external circumstances. In Book 5, he writes, "What is your art to be good? And how is this accomplished well except by general principles, some about the nature of the universe and others about the proper constitution of man?" This focus on virtue as life's purpose can be incredibly liberating. It means that regardless of our external success or failure, we always have the opportunity to act virtuously and therefore to live a good life. In practice, this might mean choosing honesty even when a lie might be more convenient, standing up for what's right even when it's unpopular, showing kindness to someone who has been unkind to us, persevering in the face of difficulty, when it would be easier to give up to integrate this principle into daily life? Try this. 1. Each morning, choose one virtue to focus on for the day. Wisdom, justice, courage, or self-control. Now, 2. Throughout the day, look for opportunities to practice this virtue. 3. In the evening, reflect on how you embodied this virtue and how it affected your day. By making the pursuit of virtue our primary focus, we can find meaning and fulfillment regardless of external circumstances. To recap, as we've explored, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius offers profound guidance for navigating life's challenges. From shifting our perspective and recognizing impermanence to cultivating self-discipline, acknowledging interconnectedness, and focusing on virtue, his teachings provide a roadmap for living a more thoughtful, resilient, and meaningful life. These principles aren't just philosophical ideas, they're practical tools that we can apply in our daily lives to become more balanced, ethical, and contented individuals. Conclusion. Remember, the goal isn't to perfectly embody these principles overnight. Marcus Aurelius himself was constantly working on his own growth and improvement, as evidenced by the personal nature of his meditations. The key is to consistently apply these ideas, even in small ways, and to be patient with ourselves as we grow. As you move forward from this video, I encourage you to choose one lesson from Marcus Aurelius that resonates with you most. Perhaps it's the power of perspective, or the focus on virtue as life's purpose. Whatever it is, commit to applying it in your daily life for the next week. Notice how it affects your thoughts, your actions, and your overall well-being. You might find it helpful to keep a journal of your experiences, just as Marcus Aurelius did. Write down your reflections, challenges, and insights as you put these principles into practice. This can be a powerful tool for growth and self-awareness. Ultimately, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius isn't about achieving perfection or eliminating all of life's challenges. It's about developing the mental tools to navigate life with greater wisdom, resilience, and purpose. It's about becoming day by day a little more like the person we aspire to be. As you go about your day, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let this ancient wisdom guide you in your modern life, helping you face each day with courage, wisdom, and virtue. Topic 5. Emotional resilience. In an age of constant change, information overload, and unprecedented challenges, the ability to maintain our emotional equilibrium is more valuable than ever. Stoicism, with its emphasis on rationality, acceptance, and virtue, offers powerful tools for building emotional resilience. The Stoics understood that while we can't control external events, we have complete control over our responses to them. This insight forms the foundation of Stoic emotional resilience. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic principles can help us develop stronger emotional resilience. We'll delve into key Stoic techniques for managing our emotions, examine how these ancient practices apply to modern challenges, and most importantly, discuss how to integrate these strategies into our daily lives. So let's embark on this journey to discover how Stoicism can help us cultivate the inner strength needed to face life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. 1. The Stoic approach to emotions. At the core of Stoic philosophy is a unique understanding of emotions. The Stoics didn't advocate for suppressing or ignoring our emotions. Instead, they encouraged a rational examination of our emotional responses. They believed that our emotions are not direct results of external events, but rather products of our judgments about those events. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, famously said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This principle is fundamental to Stoic emotional resilience. It suggests that by changing our perceptions and judgments, we can change our emotional responses. For example, imagine you've been passed over for a promotion at work. Your initial emotional response might be anger or disappointment, but a Stoic approach would involve stepping back and examining your judgments about the situation. Are you assuming this means you're not valued? Is this setback really as catastrophic as it feels in the moment? By questioning our automatic judgments, we create space between the event and our response. This space allows us to choose more balanced, rational reactions. It's in this space that emotional resilience is born. To practice this Stoic approach to emotions, Try this exercise. 1. Next time you experience a strong emotion, especially a negative one, pause. 2. Ask yourself, what judgment am I making about this situation? 3. Is this judgment based on fact, or is it an assumption? 4. What alternative perspectives could I take on this situation? By regularly practicing this kind of emotional examination, we can gradually build our capacity for more balanced, resilient emotional responses. 2. The dichotomy of control. A cornerstone of Stoic philosophy that's particularly relevant to emotional resilience is the dichotomy of control. This principle, articulated by Epictetus, states that some things are within our control while others are not. The only things truly within our control are our own thoughts, judgments, and actions. Everything else, other people's behaviors, external events, outcomes, is outside our control. This distinction is crucial for emotional resilience because much of our emotional distress comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. When we focus our energy on what we can control, our own responses, we become more resilient in the face of external challenges. For instance, consider a situation where you're stuck in traffic and running late for an important meeting. The traffic itself is outside your control. Getting upset about it won't make the cars move faster. But how you respond to the situation, perhaps by calling ahead to inform about your delay or by using the time to mentally prepare for the meeting, is within your control. To apply this principle in daily life, try this exercise. 1. When facing a challenging situation, make 2 lists: things I can control and things I can't control. 2. Focus your energy and attention solely on the things I can control list. 3. For the items on the things I can't control list, practice acceptance. By consistently applying this principle, we can reduce unnecessary stress and anxiety, focusing our energy where it can have the most impact. 3. Negative visualization. One of the most powerful Stoic techniques for building emotional resilience is negative visualization, or what the Stoics called premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. This involves deliberately imagining challenging or unpleasant scenarios that could occur in our lives. While this might sound counterintuitive, negative visualization serves several important purposes. 1. It helps us appreciate our current circumstances more deeply. 2. It reduces anxiety about potential future events by mentally preparing for them. 3. It builds our confidence in our ability to handle difficulties. For example, you might practice negative visualization by imagining losing your job. As you mentally work through this scenario, how you would handle the financial impact, how you would search for new opportunities, how you would explain the situation to your family, you accomplish several things. You reduce the fear of job loss by facing it in your mind. You appreciate your current job more, and you're better prepared with a mental action plan if you do lose your job. To practice negative visualization. 1. Choose an aspect of your life you value: job, relationship, health, etc. 2. Spend a few minutes imagining what life would be like without it. 3. Consider how you would cope with this loss. 4. Reflect on your current gratitude for having this in your life. Regular practice of negative visualization can significantly boost our emotional resilience by preparing us for life's challenges and deepening our appreciation for what we have. 4. The view from above. Another powerful Stoic technique for cultivating emotional resilience is the view from above. This involves mentally stepping back and viewing our situation from a broader perspective, as if we were looking down on it from high above. Marcus Aurelius often used this technique. He wrote, "You can rid yourself of many useless things among those that disturb you, for they lie entirely in your imagination. And you will then gain for yourself ample space by comprehending the whole universe in your mind, and by contemplating the eternity of time, and observing the rapid change of every part of everything. How short is the time from birth to dissolution, and the illimitable time before birth, as well as the equally boundless time after dissolution." This practice helps us gain perspective on our problems, reducing their emotional impact. When we view our challenges in the context of the vast universe and the long span of time, they often seem less overwhelming. For instance, if you're stressed about a work deadline, try imagining your situation from high above. See yourself as a tiny dot on the planet, one of billions of people, each with their own challenges. Zoom out to see the Earth as a small blue marble in the vastness of space. How significant does your deadline seem from this perspective? To practice the view from above, 1. Close your eyes and imagine floating up above your current location. 2. Continue to zoom out until you can see your country, then the entire Earth. 3. Hold this perspective and consider your current concerns. How do they appear from this vantage point? 4. Gradually zoom back in, bringing with you the perspective you gained. Regular practice of this technique can help us maintain emotional balance by reminding us of the larger context of our lives. 5. Voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed that regularly practicing voluntary discomfort could significantly boost our emotional resilience. This involves intentionally putting ourselves in mildly uncomfortable situations to build our tolerance for discomfort and our confidence in our ability to handle challenges. Seneca, for example, advocated for periodically living as if we were in poverty, even if we weren't. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" The purpose of this practice is not self-punishment, but rather to build our resilience and reduce our fear of potential hardships. When we voluntarily experience discomfort, we realize that we can handle more than we thought, and our fear of discomfort diminishes. In our modern context, voluntary discomfort might involve taking cold showers, fasting for a day, sleeping on the floor, going without social media for a week to incorporate voluntary discomfort into your life. 1. Choose a mild discomfort to practice, nothing dangerous or harmful. 2. Set a specific duration for the practice. 3. During the practice, observe your reactions and discomforts without judgment. 4. Reflect on what you learned about yourself and your resilience. Regular practice of voluntary discomfort can significantly boost our emotional resilience by expanding our comfort zone and building our confidence in our ability to handle challenges. As we've explored, Stoicism offers a wealth of practical techniques for building emotional resilience. From questioning our judgments and focusing on what we can control, to practicing negative visualization and gaining perspective through the view from above, these Stoic practices provide powerful tools for navigating life's emotional challenges. Remember, building emotional resilience is not about eliminating emotions or becoming indifferent to life's ups and downs. It's about developing the inner strength to face life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and equanimity. Conclusion. As you move forward from this video, I encourage you to start integrating these Stoic practices into your daily life. Begin with the technique that resonates most with you. Perhaps it's questioning your judgments when strong emotions arise, or practicing the dichotomy of control when facing challenges. Start small, be consistent, and observe how these practices affect your emotional responses over time. Recap. All right, let's take a moment to reflect on the wealth of wisdom we've just explored. We started by delving into the importance of self-discipline, understanding how it forms the bedrock of Stoic practice and personal growth. We then shifted gears to examine the Stoic approach to adversity, reframing challenges as opportunities for growth and character building. Our journey took us through the intersection of mindfulness and Stoicism, showing us how presence and clarity can enhance our Stoic practice. We also had the privilege of gleaning timeless insights from the great Marcus Aurelius, bringing ancient wisdom into our modern lives. Finally, we explored the crucial topic of emotional resilience, discovering how Stoic principles can help us navigate the stormy seas of our emotions with greater equanimity and strength. Conclusion. As we wrap up this compilation, I hope you're feeling inspired and equipped with new tools to face life's ups and downs. Remember, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a practical approach to living a more fulfilling, balanced, and virtuous life. The journey of a Stoic is ongoing, and each day presents new opportunities to apply these principles. Whether you're facing a major life challenge or simply trying to improve your daily habits, the wisdom we've explored today can guide you towards a more resilient and purposeful existence. I encourage you to take some time to reflect on these lessons and consider how you can incorporate them into your own life. Start small, be patient with yourself, and remember that progress, not perfection, is the goal. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from these Stoic teachings. And hey, drop a comment below, sharing which of these topics resonated with you the most. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Until next time, stay strong, stay rational, and keep cultivating that inner citadel. This is Inspired Stoicism, signing off.